Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, members of the judicial, legislative, and executive branches, and all their little minions. It'll work. All you have to do is let it. But welcome just the same. I'm Steven with a V. How would you like to still collect your paycheck but not have to do your job? So, the legislative, judicial, and executive branches of the United States are, for the first time in modern history, completely under control of a single party. The Republican Party. This total dominance has created a system where checks and balances have effectively been silenced. And the result is a government that is not simply efficient, but deliberately non-functioning. For decades, Republican leaders have repeated the mantra that government doesn't work. Now, with full control, they seem determined to prove that assertion true. Their policies and actions, or more accurately, their deliberate inaction, serve as both evidence and fulfillment of their own cynical prophecy. It's still not working. It doesn't work. These are not just frustrated words from citizens. They have become a quiet, unspoken motto of this political era. The machinery of democracy has been left to rust, while those in power insist that rust is its natural state. Legislative stalls, budgets freeze, and programs die quietly, all under the banner of fiscal responsibility and small government. The Republicans' approach to governance has become less about creating solutions and more about ensuring that nothing gets done unless it directly benefits those already in power. By starving public institutions, they can point their dysfunction as proof that the government itself is the problem. Even within the executive branch, this self-destructive philosophy has reached absurd extremes. Many of the current cabinet members appear chosen precisely for the hostility towards the missions of the departments they lead. The Secretary of Education seeks to privatize public schooling. The head of the Environmental Protection Agency dismantles pollution safeguards in the name of energy freedom. The Secretary of the Interior opens protected lands and shorelines to drilling while dismissing conservatives as obstructionists. At Health and Human Services, leadership undermines public health guidance, while at Labor, the department meant to protect workers instead defends corporations from regulation. These appointees act less as stewards of governance and more as saboteurs from within, advancing the vision of America where the government's only role is to erase itself. In their hands, public trust corrodes, expertise is silenced, and citizens are left to wonder whether anyone in power still believes in the idea of public service at all. Under this ideology, public services and social programs are not seen as essential but as burdens. The party's leadership has waged a long campaign against the very idea of collective good, defunding schools, cutting food assistance, and dismissing climate science as wasteful. Agencies such as NOAA, which monitor storms and weather patterns to keep America safe, are slashed under the guise of trimming fat. Medical and environmental research stalls mid-study because funding is frozen or redirected. The result is not merely bureaucratic failure, it's a moral failure. Meanwhile, ordinary people suffer. Families go hungry while grocery prices climb. Teachers and nurses beg for supplies. Researchers see decades of work vanish overnight when funding dries up. But for the wealthy, life remains unchanged. Their plates, their pockets, their portfolios are full. When crises come, where the power grids fail in record-breaking winters, the privileged simply leave. Their representatives do too. We remember vividly, in the middle of a Texas freeze, one Republican senator quietly boarded a plane to a sunny resort, abandoning his constituents in the cold. This, it seems, is a modern Republican way. When the system breaks, they blame the system, never themselves, and fly to warmer weather. The hypocrisy is staggering, but not new. In 1998, a group of Republican congressmen voted to impeach President Bill Clinton for lying under oath about a personal affair, a private moral failing elevated to a constitutional crisis. Among them were Roy Blunt, Mike Crapo, Lindsey Graham, Jerry Moran, Rob Portman, John Thune, and Roger Wicker, all of them members of the United States House of Representatives. Each one voted for impeachment. Over in the Senate, Chuck Grassley, Jim Inhofe, and Mitch McConnell voted to convict Clinton in his 1999 trial. Every name just listed supported removing a president over a personal lie. Yet decades later, when faced with a Republican president who incited an attack on the U.S. Capitol, an actual assault on democracy itself, those same political figures and their colleagues found every possible excuse not to hold him accountable. The impeachment of Donald Trump in 2021 for incitement of insurrection followed the January 6th storming of the Capitol. And yet, after all the evidence, the violence, and the deaths, most of these same leaders voted against conviction or later supported expunging the charges entirely. The same people who once called lying about an affair an impeachable offense decided that encouraging a violent attempt to overturn an election was not. That's what it means for the government to be non-functioning. Not that it literally ceases to operate, but that it functions only for a chosen few, those in power and those who fund them. It's a government that protects itself while failing to protect the people it represents. Democracies become a stage play, its outcomes predetermined, its actors unaccountable. And so the pattern continues: dismantle, defund, and deny, and then declare that government can't help you. It's not incompetence, it's intent. The system is working exactly as they designed it to. But now, backed by one person's request, it's meme 15. Atheism is a very positive affirmation of man's ability to think for himself, to do for himself, and to find answers to his own problems. We know they are lying. They know they are lying. They know we know they are lying. We know they know we know they are lying. But they are still lying. Alexander Isaievich Solzhenitsyn. I'm sure the universe is full of intelligent life. It's just been too intelligent to come here. Arthur C. Clarke. Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fires signifies, in a final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and not clothed. The world in arms is not spending more money alone. It is spending the sweat of its laborers, the genius of its scientists, the hope of its children. Dwight D. Eisenhower. You're allowed to say at any point, I can't support this. Even if you did, even if you are unsure, you can say at any point, this has gone too far. And while the best time to say that was earlier, the second best time is now. Hemp makes more fuel, fiber, food, and medicine than any other plant, and was the first crop sown over 12,000 years ago. And an acre of hemp produces 300 gallons of oil, 3 tons of protein, and 30 tons of fiber a year. Until next time, we can't afford any more undecided voters. Register to vote in November. I'm Steven with a V. I'll see you on the next turn. Please like, share, and subscribe.